Welcome back, everybody, to People Talk 2. This is a community forum that we invite you all in the community to come and share your views, share your business ideas, share what's going on in the community, because we don't know if you don't tell us. So if you have any questions, comments, please look at my phone number, 330-926-6126 for Dr. Miyoshi Levy, and I will gladly respond to your calls. Today, I have a special guest, Brian Levy and Alyssa Walters, and they're going to share with us their business ideas and what they're doing around town. Take it over, Brian Levy.
All right. Well, thank you for having me here. So again, I'm Brian Levy from Silicon Valley, California. I was born and raised here in Cleveland, Ohio, and I've been an entrepreneur for about the last 15, 20 years or so. And with me, my colleague, Allison Walters, and she's also here from California.
Good to be here, Brian. Thank you so much for inviting me here, Miyoshi. And yeah, I've been working with Brian since 2017, 18, something like that. And it's been
I was 12.
Only you
So
can do that.
it's been a great journey since. So yeah, with that, I'll be here to help Brian out, whatever he can't answer.
That's right.
Okay, so what inspired you to start your own business, Brian?
Well, so honestly, I looked at the things that I was doing. So I had worked for major corporations. I worked for AT&T. I worked for Nortel Networks. And when I worked for Nortel, they were billing me out at like $200 an hour.
Wow.
And I'm like, wow, I'm getting like maybe the 30, $40 an hour, right?
Wow.
I'm like, if I go out on my own, I would make so much more money.
Okay.
And I could do things that, doing what I consider the right way, as far as being able to service people the way I wanted to, not go through the bureaucracy. I said, this is a great deal. Struck out my own, and been doing that ever since.
That's great. That's great. And how did you identify the need for your product or your service that you're offering the community?
Now, the cool thing is that there was already a demand out there. So again, I worked for other employers first.
So you
people
knew.
were already paying for that service, right? And again, I've been in the consulting industry for about 30 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
You look young.
Yeah, I keep hearing that. And today's my birthday, by the way.
Oh, Brian, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Brian.
Okay.
25 again.
Okay.
Feels great.
Okay. Let me ask your guest a question. What is your mission and purpose when you started, and has it changed?
My mission and purpose when I started for me, to really help people in the mental health world. I've been in the corporate America world for 26 years now in technology, and I've seen so many dysfunctional organizations and leadership. And the mission's still the same: is to help leadership see that people are people, and mental health is so important to lead a team.
So how do you and Brian mix those two components together?
Go ahead.
Oh yeah, it's an interesting mix. What we do as an organization is we go into different corporations, and we actually teach them, here's how you can actually lead your organizations in a way that heals people rather than hurts them. Right. So a lot of that is it's investigative to figure out what are the real problems that are going on. We have several diagnostic tools that actually measure the mental well-being of employees.
Can you tell me at least one of your tools that you're using, just so that I would know if the place that I'm working for is utilizing those tools?
So we created what we call the therapeutic leadership diagnostic, and it has a bunch of questions. They're taken from the American Psychological Association, and they measure different aspects of life for a person that actually determines their mental well-being. And I'll give you an example. Like, one of the first questions on there is, hey, does when my boss gives me directions, do I actually have clarity? Do I feel like they've been clear about it? Because one thing that leads to mental unrest is when things are not clear, when people's reality is shaken.
I have a question for you. So, what challenges do you face most often when you're going into this corporate setting, and how do you handle them?
So the biggest challenge I have is that there's a number of people that really don't give any credence to mental health whatsoever. It's like this is a soft thing. People who even talk about it are weak. And so because they don't actually give any credence to mental health, they're more standoffish, and they're the ones that actually hurt their employees the most.
Wow. Well,
Yeah. And the interesting thing about it is that I'll approach it from a different angle. If I approach it from a pure productivity angle, hey, you want to increase your productivity? I'll show you how to do it. They don't need to know all the details, be involved with the quote unquote mushy stuff. But we can still go in and figure out, well, here's the team dynamics that are going to make you more efficient. It's all about communication, the way you actually phrase
Yes.
things, the way you make people feel.
Allison, what have you learned working with him in this?
Well, he gets people to pay attention based on the data, the research data of like what percentage is productive based on what percentage is being heard, from the
that's
teams, like convincing or I guess attracting leadership's attention is all about the data and the percentages of increase of productivity, and bringing that into the conversations with leaders so they can pay attention and really care about mental health and treating their teams well. They have to see the numbers go up, right?
So, how do you measure your success in your attempts to get them? How do you measure success?
So we do something rather interesting. Most people, they go into an organization and they kind of create metrics to kind of prove that they've done well. What we do is we go into an organization and say, well, what are you using to measure success now? We're going to go in and do some interventions, and let's measure using the same criteria afterward and see if there's an increase.
That's a great idea. Okay. So, this is for both of you guys. How do you choose the right people to work with or to hire? How do you choose the right people to work under you or with you?
I usually just ask Allison.
He does ask me for temperature. He asks me because my superpower, he would say, would be empathy, and kind of measuring the person's, how they are interacting with us, how they are with their intentions. He's really good at like pinpointing like what their intentions are, but I'm really good at just feeling if it's true based on what they're saying. You know what I mean? The temperature wise. So. It has to be clear, first of all, for me, it has to be clear what my mission is and what my values are. So when I talk to someone, if they don't align, then I have to say no.
Ooh.
And I think Brian's the same way. I don't want to speak for you, but go ahead.
I'm probably a little bit meaner than she is on this front.
So, how important is alignment to your vision?
It's probably the most important aspect of everything. Now, the thing is, if you're not aligned, then you're going to end up having to micromanage people. We have to watch them. And what I want to do is be able to delegate. I want to give someone a goal. And I'll support you if you need help. But if you have it, then you work on that goal so I can do something more important. And we'll make more money. We'll be more productive in that manner.
So what you're actually doing is allowing some of the businesses that you're working with to build their people up and make them more productive so that we can make more money because our people are better.
That's right.
Ah.
And that's one thing that, in leadership, people often overlook. Is people have a certain amount of talents, yes, but the more you build them up, the more talent you have, the more skills they have, the more they're going to be able to work and make more money for you. And so that has to be the goal. It has to be that development piece.
So what leadership qualities do you rely on the most? Do you rely on in your leadership abilities?
So my mom is an ex. Well, actually, I shouldn't say ex because once a Marine, always a Marine.
Simplify.
Right?
Okay.
But in the Marines, they had this concept called situational leadership. And in situational leadership, what it's about was assessing the individual based upon their willingness to do something, but also their ability to do something in order to determine whether they're ready. And I've learned this from my mom, and I've actually taken it to heart. And I'm really good at always assessing in any different situation, where are they at, right? And if they're missing some quality that would make them not be ready to do something, figuring out here's exactly what I need to do to intervene to support them, to give them what they need so they can reach the next level and give me what I want.
So who is your ideal customer at this time?
So our ideal customer, we love working in these high intensity, fast paced environments. Healthcare companies.
Like
right?
the VA could use you.
Like the VA, Cleveland Clinic, right? Where you have people, they're under an immense amount of stress, immense amount of time conditions, and they still need to show empathy. You know, if you're in a healthcare field, your business is around people.
Yeah, but don't you think the stress of time constraints and the amount of people that you have on assignments, it just seems like it's such a fast pace, then becomes dog eat dog. Nobody really wants to help each other because I'm trying to get my work done so I can get out of here. How do you teach empathetic leadership in those kind of circumstances?
And so now I have to get geeky for a second.
Okay.
Right. So I did this experiment. I went to ChatGPT and I looked up what are the characteristics that denote a fast-paced environment, and it gave me this list, right? And then I did this other search. What are the characteristics that denote a toxic workplace environment? And guess what I found out?
They're the same.
The same list.
Yes.
And then I did a third search, which is even more interesting.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I looked up what are the characteristics of emotional abuse. Guess what I found out?
I can't guess. Can you guess?
Same list.
What?
Right? So again, they code these things, they mask it, but really when people talk about having this fast-paced environment, they were just giving themselves an excuse to be emotionally abusive to their employees.
Ooh. Ooh. Wow. So how do you build trust and long-term relationships with your clients once you give them that information? They might not like what you got to say.
Most of the time they don't.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, here's the question. How do you build trust then? Bringing them out truth. You're bringing them truths
Right.
that they might not like.
So there was a book that was pivotal in my development. It's called The Speed of Trust by Stephen Covey. And what he talked about in this book is how do you build trust the fastest? The fastest way to build trust is results, right? People want certain things. If you give them the results,
They'll believe you.
they believe you, they trust you, right? If you don't give them the results,
They'll question you.
that's right. And so what I want to do, again, people give all this kind of advice about, building the relationship and building confidence. And
This is
I
beautiful.
concentrate on what's most important for you. Like, how are you going to judge that you receive the results that you wanted? And then let's give you that.
Ooh.
Right.
Ooh. So this is for you, young lady. What advice would you give someone that's starting out in the business that you're in?
Do a lot of market research and see where things are in your org and see look at turnovers, reasons why, where people go after they leave the company, and you'll find out that most of the time people are leaving not because they're trying to find another job. Well, why are they finding another job? You know what I mean? Like, find those reasons of why people are dissatisfied, and look at the mental health stats of when people leave, like how they are,
Since you guys are researchers, since we are under a presidential regime that really does not consider the employees anymore, have you noticed or taken any time to research how it's affecting them mentally and their families? Is there any word on that?
So over the last 5 years, the rates of mental illness have increased by like 50%. Mm-hmm. Right. So the more we delve into this culture where we put profits over people, where we really care about, what's in it for me versus what's in it for us, the more we actually are more abusive to other people, and the more the rates of mental illness increase because we just treat each other bad. The long-term effects of abuse is mental illness. And we actually just need to come to terms with that so that we actually start treating each other better.
So that's an individual choice then, what you're saying. It has nothing to do with what's going on in the country. It has to do with the culture that we live in right now. It's that people need to be kinder and more sensitive to themselves and to their neighbors.
Well, there's just lack of awareness of what mental illness will do to you long term. Like a lot of people, hold in their mental illness or their mental dissatisfaction or their mental stress, right? They hold it in because they have the livelihood in their 20s, 30s, 40s, even 50s, and then it shows up in their retirement. Oh, they get a stroke. Oh, they have eye problems, and these are all somatic issues that happens mentally into the physical body because the physical body is related or tied to the mental stuff because the brain has nerves everywhere in the body, right? So people are not aware of what mental health suppression will do to the body. And by the time they learn that's, it might be too late. And so the awareness needs to be spread. And I think it is more so now than it was maybe a decade ago, right? The pandemic was probably the beginning of people being aware of how much mental illness there was during that time. And now it's like, it's a little bit more increased, but it needs to be spread. People need to be aware of what mental illness will do to your body.
What is the key factor that you guys give back to the community in your business? What do you guys give in the community?
Most of it is education.
That's good.
There's so much, there's so many misconceptions that we've been fed for marketing purposes. Mm-hmm. Right? I was talking to Allison earlier about, my own little health regime and how I was diagnosed with diabetes, right? And
Common.
and the reason is that I was taught that carbohydrates were an important part of your diet.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, it's not. It's a lie. You know who made that up? It's General Mills and
Kellogg's.
Yeah, and Kellogg. Because they're trying to sell their carbohydrate cereals right. Mm-hmm. And so we get all these misconceptions, and one of my goals is to tell people like, here's the real research, here's the truth about these things.
That's
so
great.
They can prepare and arm themselves.
Okay. And what's next for your business?
So we have like some exciting products right now. Like one of my favorite ones is called the Dark Detox. And the Dark Detox, basically, we created this AI program that when used by a licensed therapist, it increases the predictability and the accuracy of diagnosing personality types and traits from 65 to 95% accuracy.
Wow.
And so we're able to go in, hey, you have this important hire you're trying to make, right? It's a key position in your organization. We're able to go in and we can tell clients up front, hey, then this person, they're a Machiavellian type. They just want to control and cause pain to people, or, they're a narcissist, right? And
yes.
They're going to cause all the discord. And, people don't realize this. I didn't realize this initially. But by eliminating some of these dark personalities that disrupt productivity, you get like a 20% productivity increase just from eliminating the wrong people in your organizations.
And a lot of times I found that the wrong people stay longer than the right people. They run off the good people.
That's right. Because the good people have options.
Yes, yes. So if you could expand into anything, New services, new locations. What would it be? Where would you expand into? The global world. Where if you could expand yourself.
So, actually, the interesting thing is I'm kind of doing the opposite. So, coming from Silicon Valley, it's all about AI, right? Mm-hmm. And then when I came back to Cleveland, mm-hmm. there's like no AI firm. So I've been kind of staying in the Cleveland area doing more AI consulting work, mm-hmm. just because there's not a local presence for AI here at all. Right?
Why is AI such a stigma type thing where people are afraid of it? Because it just kind of reminds me of way long time ago when they were introducing computers into the workplace.
Right.
People, I was one, that just shunned the computer because it was a whole new way of life.
Witchcraft.
Yes, all of it. So AI it has that same disdain. So what do you say about that as far as educate? That's your education piece.
Yeah. So here's the truth of the matter is that people have received all this propaganda that AI is going to replace your job or something.
Yeah.
Right. And so people are fearing this because we don't want to do anything different. I want to do the same thing I did yesterday, but just get better results today.
We don't grow that way, too. I have to note, human beings, we don't like change because we have to grow, and grow is really hard. There's like a lot of growing pains with that, right? So growing, like that's the denial that human beings have, is they don't like growing. They just want to stay the same because it's easier. It's more comfortable, So sorry, Brad, go ahead.
No, you're exactly
right.
You're exactly right. And the interesting thing about this, AI is not going to replace your job. You know who's going to replace your job? The person that wasn't too lazy to learn AI.
Exactly. The person that wanted to grow, right?
Yeah.
Because with the tool, again, I could try to screw in a nut inside of this table, right? And someone with a wrench and a pair of pliers, they're going to do it more efficiently. Mm-hmm. It's a tool. AI is a tool. And it's going to be 5 times more efficient than a human is.
You better believe it. Okay, and I got one more question for you. How can people reach out to you? Please.
Oh, yeah. You can go to our website, www.changeuu.org. You can email us or call us. 216-250-2517 is the local number here.
And you're going to ask for Mr. Levy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ask for me personally.
Can you give us that address again? Because you said that real fast.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Internet.
www.changeuu, so it's 2 U's in there, .org.
Okay, that's really good. That's really good. I want to thank you guys for taking our time to come and share with us what you guys are all about. It's so wonderful to see young people branching out. And the fact that you want to teach or share AI, that's really new down here. You know that, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So to find you will be advantageous to the school systems, to the hospitals, to big business, to the sports leagues. They are looking for you. They just didn't know where to reach you. So hopefully they'll see, the right people will see this. And you coming from California to come and sit with us is so wonderful.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
And again, Brian, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
I'm loving it.
And